Hello everyone. Today we will start the new unit, which is the isometric projection. So it is the method to draw three-dimensional object by using two-dimensional views. Also, it is a type of a pictorial projection in which all three dimensions of an object are shown in one view, and if required their actual sizes can be measured directly from it. In an orthographic projection we draw 2D diagrams, right? And in isometric projection we draw three-dimensional object by using those two-dimensional views. There are two types of isometric projection. The first is isometric view and the second one is the isometric projection. The isometric view is drawn by using true scale or a true dimension, and isometric projection drawn by using isometric scale or a reduced dimensions or less dimensions. Okay, there are some concepts which we have to learn. The first one is the isometric axis. Here you can see here there is AL, AH and AD lines. These are the axes, and these axes are inclined at 120 degree to each other. You can see here. See, the angle is same, so that it is called as a isometric axis. Iso means same angles. Okay, so these are the three axes. Then we'll see the isometric lines. Okay, the lines which are parallel to this isometric axis is called as isometric lines. So these are the axes, right? This line is parallel to this axis, so this is isometric line. This line is parallel to this axis, so this is also isometric line. So all these are the isometric lines, and by using this isometric lines we can draw plane, so that this plane is called as a isometric plane, isometric plane, because we draw these planes by using a isometric lines. Okay, so this AL, AD, AH, these are the axes which are inclined at 120 degree to each other. Then the lines which are parallel to the axis, then that line is called as a isometric line. With the help of isometric line we can draw isometric plane. The plane which is parallel to isometric, basic isometric plane is also called as isometric plane. Okay, now we will see the isometric scale. As I told you, there are two types of projection: isometric view and isometric projection. In isometric we draw object by using true dimension, and in isometric projection we draw object by using isometric scale or a reduced scale, right? Now this is an object. Okay, this is a object. When we want to see all the dimension of this object or any object, so you have to hold the object in such a way that all all three dimensions are visible. Then in this process all dimensions become proportionally inclined to the observer eye. Means where if observer is looking from this side, so to see or to observe all three dimension of the object you have to incline that object, right? And for in this case all the dimensions are inclined to your eyesight. Okay, so that it appears as a reduced dimension. For example, you can see here, this is the pen, this is a pen. Okay, now from this side, this is your eyesight. Okay, you're looking from this side, and this is not inclined to your eyesight, so you can observe its true length or a true dimension. But if I incline like this to your eyesight, then it appears at a reduced dimension, right? It appears smaller, right? Because it is inclined to your eyesight, right? Likewise, if this object is inclined to your eyesight, then these lines or these edges are also inclined to your eyesight, so you can't see its true dimension, right? It appears smaller, its dimension reduces, right? If I draw the isometric projection by using this reduced dimension, then that drawing is called as a isometric projection. Okay, if I use the original dimension or two dimensions to draw isometric, then that is called as a isometric view. Now how to calculate that those reduced dimension? So to find out those reduced dimension, there is isometric scale. There is isometric scale. So how to draw this isometric scale? For that, first draw the horizontal line. Okay. Then draw a line which is inclined at 30 degree to this first line. Then draw a second line which is inclined at 45 degree to this first line. Okay, now on this scale you will get reduced dimension or isometric scale, and here true scale. Okay, if this is A, from this point, from this A point, on this line which is inclined at a 45 degree, on that line if I mark the distances like 1 centimeter, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. So this is the true dimension. Okay, these are the true dimension: 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, and so on. Now if I draw the vertical lines passing through these points and which intersects this isometric line like this. Okay, so this is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 5 dash, 6 dash, 7 dash, and 8 dash. Now you can see here this A1 distance, and you can observe here this A1 distance and A1 dash distance. This A1 dash distance is less than this A1 distance, and this is nothing but the isometric or reduced dimension of that 1 centimeter. Okay, you can calculate by using this diagram. You can calculate isometric dimension by using this isometric scale, or there is a one multiplying factor 0.816. If you multiply this 0.816 with a true scale, then you will get a isometric scale. For example, let's say the true dimension is a 10 mm, then multiply it with 0.816, so that you'll get the isometric scale as a 8.16 mm. See, this is the true scale is a 10 mm and the isometric scale is 8.16 mm. So this is reduced dimension. Okay, so this is the introductory part of this isometric projection. So after this, in the next session, we'll see the actual problem, how to draw the isometric projection. Okay, thank you.